I'm not normally one to talk about equipment. I much prefer talking about techniques and the creative side of filmmaking rather than the more technical side, which I know makes me sound very snobby, but that's just my personal preference. However, this piece of kit definitely warrants talking about as it's an incredibly powerful tool for creating stunning images. The Pocket 6K Pro is a true baby cinema camera. The past 2 years have been amazing for filmmakers, with a whole crop of incredible cameras being released onto the market at relatively affordable prices. In an effort to stand out, a lot of these cameras are feature packed. You have crazy resolution figures, IBIS, eye tracking autofocus, all sorts of really smart stuff. What's interesting is the higher up you go, the less of these features you see. Take the A7SIII, essentially the industry standard cinema camera. The only convenience feature it has is internal NDs. Otherwise, it's a fully manual HD resolution image box. Importantly though, the image that comes out of it is beautiful. You see, at the risk of sounding snobby again, cinema cameras shouldn't be about convenience, they should be about consideration. In a cinematography scenario, a lot of these convenience features aren't actually useful at all, and often actually behave unpredictably, which as a cinematographer is the complete opposite of what you want. What I love about the Pocket 6K Pro is that it mirrors the feature set of high-end cinema cameras like the A7SIII. It's confident in its position as a true cinema camera, and it isn't trying to also be a vlogging camera and a stills camera or anything else. This also comes with an important point. If you're a cinematographer or someone who is looking to become a cinematographer, the Pocket 6K Pro sets you up perfectly. It's very capable of shooting stunning images, and if you shoot enough stunning images, someone will notice and hire you as a DOP. If they have the budget, a high-end cinema camera will be rented in and you'll feel right at home, as it's not missing any of the convenience features or automatic shooting modes that you may have been relying on with other camera systems. That's not to say that the other cameras that have released recently aren't capable of also shooting amazing images. And of course you could switch everything to manual and use it like that, but the singular focus of the Pocket 6K Pro makes it the most interesting to me out of the recent flurry of new releases from major manufacturers. After the break, I'll run you through some of the things I found out from using this camera on my short film Rhythm, but first, it's time for today's sponsor. Storyblocks is the complete stock solution, providing an unlimited library of over 1 million royalty-free high-quality video, audio, and images through cost-effective subscription plans. I know this video is all about cinema cameras, but you don't even need one, okay? Because you can just find cinematic footage on Storyblocks and you can use that. You don't have to shoot anything. I can do it all from my chair in my office, especially because there's unlimited downloads of everything in their library, so I can try out multiple different options very quickly and I can find the perfect fit for my edit. It also allows you to focus more on the video that you're creating. For example, if I'm shooting a project in London and I want to establish the fact that I'm filming in London, I would normally go out and film things like Big Ben and the Eiffel Tower. I meant to say the London Eye, but still, shooting that sort of stuff takes time away from the thing that I actually want to be shooting, whereas now I can focus that, come home, grab the footage from Storyblocks, and it does the job for me. It's an incredible tool to have in your filmmaker's toolbox, so head over to storyblocks.com/mumbojumbo to get yourself signed up today. Alright, let's get down to the details. Obviously, like all Blackmagic design cameras, the image is the priority and it shows. B-RAW is an incredibly powerful codec, especially if you're like me who edits and colors everything in Resolve, and there's so much room for creativity in the color grade. I never feel limited by the raw data coming out of the camera. Skin tones look incredibly organic and natural even in the shadows, which can sometimes go a bit funky on other camera systems, and this is incredibly important for someone like me as I like to shoot quite dark and moody frames. Colours in general are lovely. You can always tell when something has been shot on a Blackmagic design camera because it just has that signature softness that reminds me of cameras in much higher price brackets. Dynamic range is strong enough that I can comfortably backlight everything without too much concern. The only thing I did notice going from the G2 to the 6K Pro is that the noise floor is a tiny bit higher, meaning the shadows get muddier a little sooner than I'm used to. However, this isn't much of a problem as I just expose it a bit further to the right than pull everything down in post. It does a great job at creating stunning images, but outside of the image, yeah, the body isn't that pretty, and it's a slightly awkward shape for gimbal work, but it flies absolutely fine on my Movi Pro. The 2 screw holes on the bottom is an incredible change as it makes building rigs so much more stable, completely unable to rotate, and the new screen is useful for very minimal setups, but I tend to use external monitors, which is also why I can't comment much on the new EVF. The improved battery life is a huge upgrade from the Pocket 4K I owned previously, making this camera a much more usable system, and then the internal NDs are fantastic. I mean, it's a must-have feature on all cinema cameras. I heard a lot of drama online about colour shifts between each ND, but in my experience it's minimal and it's easily graded out in post. They do the job and it's one convenience feature I couldn't imagine life without, having spent years with my A7SIII Pro G2. All in, the Pocket 6K Pro is compromised in all the right ways. It's a true baby cinema camera. Now, for me personally, it won't replace my A7SIII Pro G2 as that extra smidge of dynamic range is very valuable to me, but it will be a strong camera B, and I would feel very confident using it on large productions as an A-cam if I had to. Today has been incredibly nerdy. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. See ya.